What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I'm going to talk about why I'm very excited for Watch Dogs Legion. So I know in the past, I've been very, very critical on this game. I've been very concerned about this game. I felt like there was a time, there's a time right now for a change. I want to talk again, just talk about why I'm excited for this game versus why I've been very concerned over the last couple months. As always, I've been very excited for this game. I really want this game to be good, and I felt like now's the time to make a video on that. Really, really quickly, before I jump in, though, I want to promote our Discord channel. If you guys have not yet checked it out, it'll be in the description below. Loads of people already there talking about pretty much anything. So if you guys, again, have not checked it out, it'll be there. Watch Dogs is definitely something that I'm going to be talking about a lot leading into the game's release, so I'm sure that's going to be a hot topic on Discord as well. All right, so let's talk about this. Watch Dogs, again, Legion, ever since it was announced, has been a game that's 1,000% been on my radar. I've been a fan to different extents of the last two games. Okay, I really did not prefer the story of Watch Dogs, but then when I think about it, Watch Dogs 2 wasn't very good story-wise either, in my opinion. Just for me, gameplay I've always really enjoyed. Obviously, hacking in the first game was not to the standards that they kind of set for themselves, right? The kind of expectations we thought. That's obviously been a pretty well-documented thing in the gaming industry, but I really think and I've always said this, potential for Watch Dogs is enormous. The franchise itself, like what you can do with a hacking genre like it, you can do so many things, and I've never really been able to tap into that. However, with this game, I'll tell you, again, I'm really pumped for it. The things that have always concerned me has just been, for the most part, the release date, that I'm not very happy with it. I'm kind of concerned with it being so close to Assassin's Creed, that I'm concerned with it being close to a lot of other games in general, that the game has been delayed for so long. But honestly, from everything I've even heard inside of that studio from people that have worked there, they sound very, very optimistic about the game. It honestly sounds like I saw an interview with maybe their creative director, some director of this game that I believe talked to IGN, and it sounded like the decision was from Ubisoft, like literally their head up, Ubisoft, to delay this game, that the team making Watch Dogs was ready to go for November 2019, and then whoever was above them basically said, nope, it's not releasing in a few weeks. For whatever reason, we're going to give you however long after that. So that was kind of strange to me. I didn't really think that it happened that way. I don't even know if I necessarily believe it all the way. But again, they were kind of ready to go, and they talked about how so many things have kind of improved since that happened, that they're now able to make the people that you're going to be able to play as even more kind of fleshed out. And honestly, again, that right there was a main concern of mine for the longest time. Remember, another concern in terms of the game itself was, I love the idea of being able to play as anybody, and they've really doubled down on that. I mean, I believe they've talked about like millions of people, and I don't think you're going to be able to play as millions of people. I believe they've even said that. They want you to be able to play as many people as you can think of in this world. And one of the things I said was, I love it. I think that's a great idea. That has kind of been, the conception of that has been done kind of before, but I love, the thought that could happen. But one worry is, if you do that, if people are too similar, if their play styles are too similar, you can end up just getting into this repetitive thing where, again, you're playing as all these different people, but maybe eventually like they run out of voices and you can maybe tell it's the same voice. Or I feel like that would probably have been a main thing in games that have tried this like early on in the day, where maybe they just kind of repeat the same voice actors. So maybe you'll have that issue. Maybe the characters, again, will play too close together where they're going to have the same play styles, and you're playing as different people, but you really feel like you're playing as the same person. That's my biggest concern. Honestly, that was my biggest concern. But even in the newer gameplay they showed, the thing that you guys are seeing right now, one of the things you would notice in the beginning when they were showing like the different characters you could pick as, there are a lot of different, whatever you want to call them, the actual kind of label that they've given to them, and that you add on to even what they showed last year. So there is a lot of variety in the play styles, in the kind of characters that you're able to play as. All of the things that they're able to do in this game seems like it's only been added to, right? It's even bigger now. So honestly, if they get that to work, if they really can convince me that when I'm playing as this character, they are unique, they are their own individual, and I'm not going to be able to play the same kind of way, using the same kind of skills, using the same kind of whatever, I'm not going to be able to do that with a different character. You know what I mean? If they can nail that, this game can be very, very special. I don't think the story is honestly going to be anything to kind of write home about, right? I really don't think it's going to be anything special. But if they can somehow get us to care, because these characters can die. That's another thing to kind of keep in mind. And that is, again, another kind of concern that if they do die, if you don't care about them, then it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? But again, if you're really pushing that, man, you can only, so to say that old lady, right? The old lady they've shown a couple times, that old lady, like, say we just have a blast with her and she's hilarious and she's a great character and the play style is so unique to her. If you lose her, you're losing like a legit, you know what I mean? You'll feel something. And if they can pull that off, that is enormous. That's something that I think can really, really help the game. And again, all of this stuff, it's kind of weird how it's gone because, again, a thing with Watch Dogs is hacking, right? That's like the biggest thing in this game or in Watch Dogs in general. And again, I feel like there's always been so much potential for it. It hasn't exactly been captured all that well in the past. With this game, it's not even necessarily about hacking. It is, but it's also how you use hacking, right? And again, all these different characters kind of use different tactics with how they hack to do this kind of action-y, kind of shooting kind of game, like third-person kind of thing. That's what this game kind of is. And honestly, again, I think they can really nail it. So all of these things combined, I mean, I really am. When that gameplay, when they showed the gameplay again at Ubisoft Forward in that video I made, I do mean that. The release date, I think, is still awful, but the gameplay, honestly, I'm so impressed. Does it look like a game that should have been released a year or two ago? Yes. Okay. So again, my expectations for it, I'm not expecting it to look absolutely beautiful. I'm not expecting the story to be absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? It's. I think at this point of my life of judging these Watch Dogs games, I've dropped it. I've just honestly dropped it. Where it's like I don't fault you if you say, well, you know what? I want to hold it to a certain standard of storytelling. I mean, I agree. I mean, I think that's a valid thing. But honestly, at this point, I think that I'm not going in expecting a great story. I'm going in expecting fun. I'm expecting to be able to enjoy myself playing as these different characters, doing things very, very different ways than what somebody else would do, which again has always been a thing with Watch Dogs. How you handle a situation with your hacking, with your tools, is kind of what makes Watch Dogs Watch Dogs. And again, they haven't they've expanded upon it, and especially Watch Dogs 2. I think you were definitely able to go at things in a different way than somebody else, right? So you could obviously have different kind of play styles. But this game is absolutely taking it to raising it to a 10 out of 10, right? Where it's like, okay, you're not only going to be able to do that, but you're also going to be able to do that with all of these different characters. And by the way, some of these characters, I would assume, not even everybody's going to get. Some people may recruit this guy, some may recruit this girl. Maybe you're not going to do that. They even talked about in that the new gameplay that some of the members, like some specific people that are part of like the branch of military, they are very hard to recruit, right? You're not going to necessarily you're not going to be guaranteed to get them. So seems like there's layers to this. Seems like there's depth. I'm all in. I'm absolutely all in. The gameplay has absolutely sold me. I don't think the visuals sold me. I don't think the storytelling sold me. But the concept of what you can do in this game and believing that it is possible that this game can just be a boatload of fun, which, to be honest with you, again, with Watch Dogs 2, I was very put off with Watch Dogs 1. Like, after Watch Dogs 1 came out, I was pretty much I pretty much boycotted the franchise. I was like, you know what? Again, the expectations were set in such a way, and then the game came out, and I just wasn't, in for it. As we got closer, probably within like 3, 4, 5 months before Watch Dogs 2, I started giving it a chance. I bought the game day one. I bought it digitally, and I had a lot of fun. Like, I cared absolutely nothing for the story. I cared nothing for the characters, but the amount of fun I was able to kind of grab from Watch Dogs 2 honestly impressed me because I was not expecting it to be that fun. And it was. It absolutely was fun. So going into this game, my expectations, they are a little bit higher, right? Because I basically want to have just as much fun as I had in Watch Dogs 2, but even more. But I also want to be able to give these, again, different systems that they've now created. I want to give them a chance to see, okay, how can they do it? Like, can they really make this game something special? Can this be, we have Ghost of Tsushima that just came out. We have a lot of these open world games that just came out. And obviously, some of them you can compare to others. Some of them you can't. Can Watch Dogs actually be like one of the better open world games? I feel like, I guess I could say it could. I don't know if that would make people mad, right? Because then you could say, oh my God, you're going to compare Watch Dogs to Red Dead, or you're going to compare it to GTA, you're going to compare it to Horizon, or just continue to go down the list, all these different games. That would be tough. That would absolutely be tough. But I honestly feel like they can carve out a like kind of a spot in their own genre of open world games that we really don't have. You know what I mean? And that again is why it is very exciting. Is we don't really have a game like Watch Dogs Legion with those kind of mechanics, with that kind of game, and I think they can do it. Again, I think depending on where you put it, I think people will be disappointed. I think this game isn't going to be a perfect game by any stretch, but I feel like we'll have to see. Like we'll have to see where we're putting our expectations to where the game actually, where it comes in when it releases. You know what I mean? So we'll have to see, but I am very, very pumped for this game. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think this game has a ton of potential? Are you excited for this game? Are you getting this game day one? All those things, let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I truly appreciate it. More videos on Watch Dogs Legion. Every couple of weeks probably on this channel, I kind of want to get a new video out. Obviously, I'll start to increase the amount of videos that I make for this game as we get closer to the game releasing. We're getting very, very close. I'm very excited to play this game. I hope to see you guys on these future videos.